What's up, Moongoons? Welcome to another special episode of Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in movies. Movies so bad they're scary. But not today, my friend.
Today.
Not today, as Arya would say. Not today. Today we are doing another watch-along movie. We had a lot of fun doing it the first time with the Monster Squad.
This is our second.
So we're decided to do another fun little watch-along. This week we are doing Friday the 13th Part VII, The New Blood. One of our favorites from when we were kids.
Cool.
So we're going to do that. We're going to invite you to come along, cue it up, watch it along with us. Before we get to that, before we actually push play on this, let's talk about a few things. One, have to plug it every week, every episode. CreepyCon, August 23rd, 24th, and 25th in Knoxville, Tennessee.
In August 23rd, 24th, 25th.
Thank you.
No problem.
That's a good point.
I got you
Not
back.
July, August.
I got you back.
We will be there with the booth. We'll be there meeting, greeting, smiling, shaking hands, kissing babies, doing it, whatever.
Is my mic on?
Should be.
Can I hear me? I'm having trouble hearing me.
Maybe your headphones are turned. There you
Oh,
go.
I hear me now.
Okay.
Yeah, my headphones weren't turned up. I was like, is my mic on? I don't even know. Yeah.
Turn my headphones up.
Turn my headphones
Turn
up.
my headphones up.
Turn my headphones up.
Turn them up.
Here we go.
Here we-
CreepyCon 2019. I'm gonna fly in my. What rhymes with 19?
19. Teen.
Spleen.
Spleen. Preen.
We're having a CreepyCon 2019. So excited. I'm gonna rip out your spleen. I don't know. I got nothing.
And that's
I'm a
why
horrible
we're
freestyler.
Yeah. We used to be better back in our high school days, driving around the car freestyling a little
Man,
bit.
we used to do that all the time. We used to drive around listening to Street Vibes on 88.1, and they would have it was a local radio show, and they would have freestyle. People would call in and freestyle, and if they said a bad word, they'd be like, "Cut!" They'd be like, "Yo, I'll kill motherfuckers," and they're like, "Cut!" And they would cut them off the air. But for a while, they'd play the beat for like a good 5 minutes, so you kind of got the rhythm. And I remember, me, you, and a couple other people would drive around trying to freestyle. I was never that good.
You were better than I was, but I was terrible.
You were awful.
I was probably the worst. I maybe got like 2 lines in and be like, yeah, I'm done. They were the weakest, lamest stuff. Like, when I play golf, I like to shoot for par, and then I go have a drink with my boy at the bar.
Yeah.
And, that, and I drove there in my car.
And I'm done.
And I'm done. Pass the mic to you. It was the worst. Anyway, CreepyCon. That's where we went.
Yeah.
Come down, check us out in Knoxville, Tennessee. If you're going to be in there, definitely come. If you're not, you know what? Make a pilgrimage. Come check it out anyway.
Make a pilgrimage. I like that. Yeah. And the people of Knoxville would love to party with you, I'm sure.
I'm sure they would.
Not just us, but the friendly, good people of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yes. Anything else I need to plug? No. So let's move on to Friday the 13th Part VII. I know people are like, wow, I keep saying VII. Well, that's just a stupid joke. It's for Aaron and I when we were kids.
Because when we were kids, we would watch this on USA
Up all night. With
Up all night.
This particular one was with
Gilbert Godfrey.
not Rhonda Shear.
Yeah.
But Gilbert Godfrey it was a back-to-back Friday the 13th night. And he always introduced me, tonight we're going to watch Halloween 13th Part V. And we're going to follow with Part VII. And for some reason as a kid, I thought it was the funniest thing, saying VII instead of 5 and 7. So that just stuck with me. So every night it's always VII now to me. Anyway.
But I always called it number 7, The New Blood. And this is one of my first Friday the 13ths that I remember probably from start to finish. I think that because being a kid, growing up in the 80s, and I had Cinemax at HBO.
Right.
And every once in a while you'd catch a Friday the 13th movie, but I never watched from the first one I watched start to finish.
Right.
Sat down and watched start to finish was this one.
Yeah, cause I think my first Friday the 13th memories were Friday the 13th Part 3, I think. Because I remember there was a babysitter coming over, and I remember she was watching it on the TV, and I saw pictures. Because I remember like the scenes of like near the end of the movie where Jason's like punching through the van window and stuff in the barn and the canoe. I remember the ending of it as a kid, and I'm like, oh my god! And but I never saw the whole movie. And this might be right. This may be one of. It might not be the first, but it's definitely one that stuck out in memory the most.
Yes, I guess that's a good way of putting it. It's definitely got
stood
the
out
most impact on me from start to finish. My generation's Jason.
Well, that's because
or at least my Jason.
Yeah.
You know.
Because this was released on May 13th of 1988. So, I mean, we were 8 years old when this came out. So that's... It was written by Daryl Hanney and Manuel Fidello. Now, interesting about that, the original writer, Daryl Hanney was actually fired after his agent supposedly contacted the executive producer, Frank Mancuso Jr., and told him that Hanney would not do any more work on the project unless he received a large pay raise.
Ooh.
Even though supposedly Hanney never told his agent to do that, I guess the agent was just kind of fishing for more money. So he was fired, and the screenplay was then completed by a second unknown writer. It was credited as Manuel Fidello. And apparently also the original title of this movie, Friday the 13th Part 7, was Friday the 13th Part 7, Jason's Destroyer was the original title.
Cool.
And its working title was just simply called Birthday Bash, which is what I guess they just gave it. Oh, let's give it a title while we have people come in and read auditions, so people don't know what it is.
Yeah. I imagine that's what they were called when they were filming it.
Yeah, or something like that.
From what I understand, a lot of the Friday the 13th movies, when they started picking up steam, people
I didn't
would
realize
come
they
in,
did that back then, because you hear about it all the time now, especially like Marvel movies, and especially like when Walking Dead's still going, but in its prime time, people would like come in and audition for parts, but they would be reading scripts like Helen Goes to the Zoo or something like that, and they're reading, but it turns out, you're actually reading for The Walking Dead, but they didn't know it to keep things under wraps. So apparently they were doing that too, way back in the 80s to kind of
so
keep
word
things...
doesn't get out. I mean, it's obvious. The most famous, I think, is Blue Harvest. Like instead of calling it Return of the Jedi, they recalled it Blue Harvest.
Yes.
So that way people didn't know it was a Star Wars movie being filmed in that area, and you didn't get all these fucking fanboys showing up like, "Where's Luke? Where's Chewie? Is he on set?"
So it was called Birthday Bash under that part. Directed by John Carl Buechler, Buechler, Buechler. Now he's probably better known for his special effect work, but he did also direct Troll. If it's not Troll 2, but Troll,
the original Troll,
Cellar Dweller, Ghoulies Go to College.
Oh, yeah. And the Lost episode.
And Curse of the 49er. But he did special effects on Hatchet, The Ginger Dead Man.
Nice.
And Jones and the Last Crusade. Halloween 4, Ghoulies 1 and 2. And the Garbage Pail Kids movie and Dolls, or some and a ton of other, but those are some of the ones that are definitely cult classics and that most people have heard of.
Ghoulies Go to College. Paul Cochran sat on that one.
Paul Cochran, yes, he did.
Who is one of the co-hosts on Pop Culture Intervention.
Yes.
Pop Culture Intervention, which is a great podcast, so check them out. Shout out to Paul Cochran.
Yes. We miss you, Paul. So let's talk about the cast real quick before we go into the movie. We have young Tina, played by Jennifer Banco. Now, that movie, like that name, like Jennifer Banco, I've never heard that name before.
I think of Panko Crumbs.
Banco. But,
Bacon bits.
Yeah, but it turned out, this popped in me because we talked about it once before on the show. She played Coach Paddington in Cheerleader Camp to the Death way back on episode 61.
Wow.
So this is her second appearance on the show now. She also was Spike in the Pam Anderson movie Barbed Wire.
Oh, classic.
And she was Little Girl in Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Huh.
Our main girl, Tina, adult Tina, is played by Lar Park Lincoln. She's got 48 episodes of Knots Landing, an episode of Freddy's Nightmare, and she was in House 2, the second story, which also starred Kane Hodder.
Huh.
Yes.
Interesting.
And then Dr. Cruz.
Oh,
Dr. Cruz. Played by Terry Kaiser. The only thing you need to know about him is, if you don't know already, is that he was fucking Bernie in Weekend at Bernie's 1 and 2. Apparently he was also in Mannequin 2 and Night Court. He's still working today. And I found this funny because we mentioned it on Ice Cream Man. We talked a lot about this with Lee Majors. He was in The Return of the $6 Million Man and The Bionic Woman.
Nice.
With Lee Majors.
Nice.
Connection to that.
Man, fucking Weekend at Bernie's. I used to watch the shit out of that movie.
Yeah, dude. That movie I watched it all the time. Oh. I remember seeing that in the theater at your birthday party. We were kids. We walked to the theater in like a big group going down the sidewalk. We sat in like the front fucking row like idiots. And we were watching.
As kids do.
Yeah. And watched Weekend at Bernie's in the theater.
As we were all like talking at the movie and being too loud. Yeah, that's a vivid memory of mine. If we were like in the 4th or 5th grade, free range kids, like walk into the movies by themselves, Jesus.
Yeah, and I always remember that, watching Weekend at Bernie's in the theater on your birthday. And then lastly, Nick, our main male protagonist is Nick, played by Kevin Spiritus, although he goes by Kevin Blair in this movie. 39 credits. 115 episodes of Days of Our Lives, 23 episodes of One Life to Live. Also in Horror High, he had a very small part in the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie, but he's only in the director's cut of the movie because his part was cut out of the original. And he was in The Hills Have Eyes Part 2.
Huh.
So there's basically the cast. There's obviously other people, but those are the main ones we're going to focus on. Now, before we start the movie, we didn't get to do it. We didn't get to do it in our last episode with Bedeviled. We didn't get to do it with Ice Cream Man. But we're going to insert it here. We're going to play the budget game right now.
Ooh.
They spent how much? The budget game.
All right, so budget game. Aaron, what do you guess is the budget for, what did I just say, the 1988?
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, part VII, The New Blood.
Yeah. $3.5 million.
$3.5 million. Fuck, I'm giving you the win again this week. So budget $2,800,000.
Wow.
So basically under you came in under $1 million this time.
Nice.
That's
Wow,
close.
that's not bad.
All right, now in the spirit of the classic game show Press Your Luck, would you like to press your luck with guessing the opening weekend budget or gross?
No
opening
whammies,
weekend.
no whammies. Yes, I want to press it.
All right, press that button. What do you guys the opening weekend gross?
Friday 13th, Jason Voorhees was hot at this time. He was on fucking fire. The guess for the opening weekend, 15 mil.
15 mil. Well, you blew your wad with that one.
Okay.
Opening weekend gross $8,245,038.
I blew my wad.
Blew your wad,
but still, that's good.
you can go for broke, double or nothing on total gross.
Ooh.
What did it make total in the theaters? There you go. You're 1-1 for all the marbles.
For all the marbles, and because
All the machete, all the Jason masks, all the machetes.
the opening weekend's always the hottest one, you know, for the most part. They really don't get hotter and hotter as they go along. Your diehards are going to want to see it. 8 million. I'm going to say 24 million.
4 million. You're still blowing your wad.
But not that much?
Yeah, it's tough.
What
We get the
do we
millions.
got?
Total gross $19,170,000.
I think that's pretty close.
It's close.
You do what you want, baby, and I'm pretty happy with my guess.
That's
I'm
a good
happy.
guess, but
I'm happy with my
you
guess.
would have been in the 20 range. I'm like, okay, but you're still under 20.
See, the problem is I don't have any competition. I don't have
Yeah.
anybody else who's going, oh, I thought I made $100 million.
I know. It's always better when you have two people going against each other to have a winner. But I'll give you the win on the budget for sure. So you got 1 out of 3.
right
I'll
on.
give you that for sure. All right, guys.
I still think I'm in the neck of the woods or total gross. I don't care what you say. I'm gonna claim that as a win.
All right. With that said, guys, our little fun out of the way. All right. So, like I said, this is a watch along. So, if you want to watch along with us, we have it queued up on our TV right now.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime right now for free, so you can go get and do it there. If
So
you don't
we're
own
at
it already.
second 17 on
17.
Amazon Prime.
We're looking at the Paramount Mountain. The stars are. It's paused. The stars are about to sweep in and watch around.
One
the
star just breaking through the left side of the screen.
Yeah. So that's where we're at.
That's where we're at.
So here we go. Let's do this.
Oh, they don't have the classic Paramount music. They have creepy time music.
Creepy time.
I like that. They're starting off setting the mood. They're already setting the mood with creepy time. That's good. You don't want to give a false impression that this could be like a good old rom-com or a good old romp through the woods with Jason Voorhees as your camp guy.
Is going to think Friday 13th is a rom-com. I don't think. I mean, just the name alone. I don't think you're going to.
Yeah, New Blood. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe.
All right, so we're raining at the cemetery.
This is rare.
This is the first one that opened with like a narrator.
Yeah.
And speaking of that narrator, here's a fun thing. The narrator's name is Walt Gorney. He played Crazy Ralph in the first 2 movies.
Oh, really?
He's Crazy Ralph guy. So he came back to do. They come back to do the narrator voice for this, which kind of makes sense because he's the one like, "Don't go to the lake, it's cursed, Death Lake."
The Doomsayer.
The Doomsayer.
Yes.
Now he's basically reciting the curse to everybody.
Still being a Doomsayer.
Doomsayer.
That old dusty bastard is still being Doomsayer.
Yeah.
man, Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman
They just showed him machete Jason the side of the head.
I can't tell how much of the sound is picking up. How much of the movie you guys are gonna be able to pick up to the mics or not. If it's too much or not enough, I apologize, but
so be it.
Yeah,
I think we're fine.
Well, I don't want to be too loud, like overbearing. But I don't know. And Jason from part 6.
Like I said, this is our second time ever doing this, so
Yeah.
we're still feeling it out.
Problem is, the first time we released, we didn't think about it. At least the first time we sound checked before we started recording. This time we did not.
That's true. We
did not.
We took a lot of effort towards last time. This time we're like, fuck it, roll it, baby.
We're getting too big for our britches already.
So
We're at one episode. We got this. I'll just go.
So really quick, Tommy Jarvis.
Tommy Jarvis. So he's in part 4, 5, and 6, and he survives 6. We're kind of getting a recap right now. They're showing the end of part 6.
They're showing the end of part 6 where Tommy Jarvis throws.
He hasn't lit the lake on fire yet.
Throws the chain around Jason's neck and drowns him in Camp Crystal Lake. So we never see Tommy Jarvis again.
Nope. This is we don't see Jarvis after 6.
That's unfortunate. Here's a question for you. So I got a question for you. Corey Feldman, that motherfucker's always looking for work. What would you think about doing a Friday 13th movie with Corey Feldman reprising his role as an adult Tommy Jarvis, and it takes place after part 4?
Well, if it did that, then
because part 5, that was not Jason Voorhees. That was Roy.
But Jarvis was there at the mental community thing.
Dude,
I love this. The mask glowing blue.
But they do this shit all the time.
Oh, it's cracking. Boom! Friday 13th.
Here we are.
Part 7, The New Blood.
But they do this shit all the time. They do this shit with Halloween.
Well, I'm saying my answer is no.
You wouldn't want to do it?
No. Because...
Oh, I would love to see that.
I thought you were going to say if they did made a new Friday 13th now, and they with Corey Feldman now as an adult, after the events of 6.
No, after the events of 4.
I mean, after the events of 7.
You forget about 5, 6.
I'm not forgetting about them. I'm just saying leave those in.
No. I'm saying reboot it, just like they do with Halloween. They've done so many different twists and turns with Halloween. Like, for example, the most recent Halloween, it's a 40-year gap. They've everything that happened.
They've rebooted it once with the 2009 or was it 2013, whatever remake. And if you're gonna reboot it, that's not a real full reboot. That's just kind of a it's an alternate timeline, basically, is what you're doing.
Correct. I mean, they do it in comic books all the time.
Yeah, but
so why do they do that with some of these classic works that you can get? And granted, we all love Kane Hodder. We want to see Kane Hodder do, but at the same time, it's not dependent on Kane Hodder.
I want to see a different Kane as Jason. To be honest with you.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I want to see Kane.
Oh, Kane,
Jason. Kane.
Glenn Jacobs.
Yes. I want to see I want to see that Kane as Jason.
Sure. How about that? Would that wet your whistle then?
I would be more intrigued than yes. I don't know. I don't like the whole alternate timelines, skipping over movies, and because then people are gonna get butthurt. People are gonna be like, oh, now it skips this, or that doesn't link up with this timeline. It doesn't do that, and it's like, I don't know. I just think leave it the way it is. If you want to bring back Tommy as an adult and make it make it after the events of 6, what time, where did he go after part 6 was over? What did he do? Maybe he's living a nice suburban life. He thinks he's escaped from it, and then Jason comes back or something. I don't know. He gets pulled back in. Anyway, we're back at little Tina's now at
Is that the girl from Poltergeist?
No, I just told you that's Jennifer Banco.
Sure looks like her.
It does look it does look like her. Now, that's probably what they're maybe going for. So she's running off away from daddy and mommy arguing. Onto the tiny little dock.
I do love this guy's got I find myself getting older and older, and I look at what he's wearing and I'm like, oh, it's a nice cardigan. That looks like that's a pretty slick cardigan. He's got some nice khaki. I'm dressing more like the dads these days. If it's cold outside, yeah, I'm gonna be wearing exactly what that guy's wearing.
So Tina's out on the boat. Daddy's trying to get her back in. There comes Mama yelling.
Mama did not. Okay, either Mama was a dusty old cunt to start with, or she aged beautifully. And she looks like your high school female tennis
Oh,
coach.
the eyes of death. Big eyes. Bubbling
And
water.
then she farts in the lake.
She farts in the lake's head.
The lake fart shakes the docks. You can hear Tina's mom in the distance.
Yeah. How high is that dock, by the way? That's like, it's like 6 feet off the off the water level. Like what boat? It's like a useless dock. You can't pull a boat up to that thing.
You can see the
There's
dock.
a smaller one
Yeah,
behind it for the.
It's for picturesque, like walking along the. It's a boardwalk.
It's a boardwalk,
more or less. All right, you see why you do see him get kind of fucked up from debris,
but still not that much. A few boards bop him on the head, but it wouldn't hit him that hard because the water is gonna slow the
Are you
force.
really gonna argue?
I'm gonna argue. Oh, okay. Tina wakes up now in the
Mom.
car with mom.
Mom
Now
looks
she's
like
a
a
goat.
cartoon bear for some reason to me. I don't know. She looks like she belongs in.
I don't think it's a bear, but I definitely rocking that super 80s gelled out hair.
Real feathered,
so much hairspray in her hair.
Super feathered hair.
So much hairspray.
Yeah, and she looks like a human version of a Care Bear.
A Care Bear. I'll give you
Yeah,
that. Yes,
yeah.
I'll give you maybe a Care Bear.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
leaning towards. Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you a Care Bear.
Dude, how far was Camp Crystal Lake? 415 miles? Is that what it said?
I couldn't tell what that was. I thought it said 15.
Okay, maybe it better be 15 because that doesn't make any sense if it was 415 miles away.
Yeah.
So that car that she's driving is very similar to the type of cars I drove in high school.
He's a big ghetto blast, a big 4-wheel boat.
Ghetto sleds, baby.
And there's
Bernie. He's fucking Bernie. I don't care. He's not Dr. Sanchez
Dr.
or whatever.
Cruz. Yeah,
Dr.
he's just
Cruz.
Bernie.
Fucking Bernie.
Yeah, so they ride back to the camp now.
Dude, they have Missouri plates?
It looks like it. No.
Old Missouri
the
plate?
old red Missouri. I wish. No. And there's the doc. She's being all freaked out. Like, one thing I never quite understood about this is
Man, look at that dude's shorts.
short shorts.
That dude's rocking some
He
Daisy
likes
Dukes.
short shorts.
Who likes short shorts?
He likes short shorts. And when the mom's dressed like a Amish woman.
Care Bear Amish one.
So I get that maybe, okay, at some point the family left the home after the dad died and they moved somewhere else. But then they come back. Like, is it still their house? Like, I don't understand, like, what the house has become here. Maybe I'm just forgetting that it's explained later, but, like, I don't, like, shouldn't that still be their house? Like, why are they still, like, I don't know.
So it's got to be 10 years later because she can't be that much older, you know.
Well, if she's 18 now, she was at least 10 in the opening scene, maybe 12.
Yes, we're introduced to the bad girl, Melissa.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
I don't remember all the characters' names. And there's Nick.
He's like a poor man's Kevin Caliber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually had some fact about those two.
What, the girls or
or
Daisy Duke's boy?
Tina and Daisy Duke's guy. I just have to find it. Suppose.
That's okay. I'll talk while you look at your notes because I'm gonna just talk about Bernie.
Yeah. Apparently there's a thing that apparently Tina and Nick actually couldn't really stand each other on set while they were filming this, and supposedly the guy who played Nick, Kevin Blair, after this went back and like rewrote his own version of the script, in which case he kills off Tina in like a horrible way.
Jesus, it's a little dark, bro.
Yeah.
You need a beer?
No, I got my beer. I got a fresh beer here.
By the way, I'm going to be gifting you this cooler.
Oh, okay.
I just don't want to take it home.
I figured as much. All right, so yeah, Bernie and Tina, they're setting her up to do their
Professor X test.
Yeah, I was going to say Ghostbusters type thing, basically same thing, but yeah, Professor X test.
This is where it's like
what?
he's breaking it down. Focus in on the matchbook. Focus your anger, your energy, everything into the matchbook to help move it or do something because he's convinced she can do this, and you know she's having trouble doing it. And I felt very much X-Men type of vibe here.
Yeah, it is. Or it's more serious, but it's also very, the same thing in Ghostbusters where they're like trying to read the cards and stuff like that. And
was it just a couple wavy lines?
Yeah, triangle wavy lines. Yeah.
Have you tried to do this?
No.
You've never tried. You've never tried to move something with your mind on your own.
You know, I'm sure. I probably did it, kid.
Oh, I have. I think I did it like 2 years ago. Just in case. Maybe I haven't matured.
Just in case.
Nope. Still just a schmuck. Not a superhero. But she is. She just moved the pack of matches across the desk as Bernie was screaming at her. Ooh.
Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, so Kevin Blair wrote his own script for Friday the 13th where the new blood was only a dream, and and that his character Nick kills Tina, not Jason, but he actually kills Tina himself.
God damn, bro.
Yeah.
She got in an argument with Bernie.
Now the thing, she's went all Carrie, like not Carrie, fire starter.
No, she started the fire.
Well,
She started the fire.
yeah, well,
Billy
Joel, we got
Billy
the
Joel, we
action
got
part.
it. It's Tina, baby.
So now we cut to some two making out in a van.
This is my uncle's house. Why are we sleeping in the van?
Because we're sleeping.
Because we're humping.
Also, that's not great. Like, when they pull up, we see there's a house next to the house that Tina and the mom go in where they're doing experiments, which I don't remember seeing. Like, was that house not there in the opening? Like,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I mean it's 10 years later. New cabin can be built. You know that doesn't. Who cares? But I do find it interesting that this doctor who wants to try and rekindle the memories and everything
the size of that train on that desk
doesn't decide that doesn't do any of the legwork and find out who's next door. Maybe a more isolated place because right next door is a fucking rager with people her age. Don't you think that'd be like, you think as a doctor, you'd be like, maybe this isn't the best time to bring her back up to the lake. Maybe I need to try and schedule when there's no one at the lake or less people or a old couple who just want to go fishing instead of like people with swinging dicks and Daisy Duke shorts
and lots of beer and others. Yeah. So all right, so Tina's back on the lake having a flashback to her as a kid.
I hate you. Wish you were dead. You ever say that to your parents?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I ever said that to my parents before. Because that shit would happen.
You would use your mental powers.
I knew not to do it. Yeah, because I see what Friday the 13th taught me as a child. Don't disrespect your parents in such a harsh way. So we see Jason all fucking
chained up.
His body's all chewed up and decaying from the years underwater. And here I'm kind of curious. I mean, we gotta bring Jason back to the party somehow. That's fine. Is she trying to bring her dad back?
Yes. I think the first time I watched this too, it took me a while to pick up on that. I was like, is she?
So she's focusing. She's like she senses a presence in the lake. I'm guessing.
I don't think that she just knows
because
her
she
dad's
goes, Daddy,
body. Which is weird because that would mean the dad's lake. They never fished his body out and gave him a funeral.
Right?
They just left his body at the bottom of the lake for 10 years.
Dude,
like that's a giant plot hole.
That's
that nobody ever talks about.
That's a great point.
Like this wasn't like the Viking days where like, oh well, he's the bottom of the lake.
He's lost it. He's in the lake somewhere.
Yeah, like the Black Ages. Like this was like the 80s. They easily would have fished his body out of the lake and gave him a funeral.
You just go hire Ralph in town. Ralph does scuba. Yeah. He collects golf balls at the local golf course. He could go in there and fish your husband out.
Yeah. Anyway, so she's mentally brought Jason back. She passes out. He emerges from the lake.
When he's walking out, you can see its spine.
Yeah,
it's
zombie
cool
Jason.
looking.
Yeah. This was always one as a kid the coolest form of Jason.
I always thought so too. I still to this day, this is my favorite manifestation of Jason.
But yeah, another point that gets confused, again with Jason, when they it's a continuity error. Is when Jason dies in part 6, he's wearing leather workman's glove, and he's got his that goddamn Jason utility belt, on him. He's wearing completely different clothes than the utility belt, but when you see him now, he's changed clothes.
Well, they showed his hands. His hands are very skeletal, so I could see how the gloves would eventually just slip off.
I would give you that, but like the utility belt should still be around his waist.
True.
And in the last one, he wore like a distinctly different. It was a shirt and pants, distinctly two different things. This one, he's wearing like just one like coverall, like Michael Myers coverall outfit.
But you know what they pay strict continuity to? The fucking mask.
Yeah, that's the one thing they do pay continuity
They show
to.
so much continuity to the mask. And you know what? I love it.
I do say give him credit for that. They at least get that right.
So I just realized something. Friday 13th now, I think, joins the Pork Chop series as being the most watched and talked about most run movies of all horrible horror history. Just off the top of my head, of course. I'm just thinking about this because we did Friday 13th part
5,
10, and 9.
We did 5, 9, and 10.
5, 9, and 10, and now we're doing 7 as a watch along.
Yeah, but we're not really. Yeah, sort of. But we're not doing it as a regular episode, like where we make fun of a rip it. So, but technically, yes, it's been on the show.
And then the Pork Chop series, it was
1, 2,
3, and Pig Girl.
Yeah.
So
4 piece.
Here's the Friday 13th.
Here you go.
Making a horrible horror Hall of Fame.
There you
I
go.
guess.
Beer.
You seem very happy about your beer.
Yes.
I'm already like 5 in, so.
Yeah, I gotta catch up with you. I didn't drink as much during a Bedeviled episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're just listening to this, we just finished episode
171. I
I
think last week was 170, so Bedevil will be 171 once we get it.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't posted yet, so you don't like to go out look. But by the time this is posted, you'll be able to find it. But yeah, it'll be 171. I don't know why.
You're asking you're talking like we're doing this live.
Yeah, I forget. We're not live.
This is not live. Okay, it says Camp Crystal Lake 5 miles.
5 miles,
and they show those couple just walk right by. Okay,
so now Jason's saying we go from Crystal Lake 5 miles out.
Exactly.
And now you go 5 miles.
I always had a problem with that. I always had a problem with that.
I don't think I really knows it, but that's a great point. So he's now walked 5 miles away from where
we just saw him come out of Crystal Lake.
And now he's 5 miles.
There's a family at the cabin, and there's a whole bunch of teenagers at the cabin next door.
Where he just came out of. Yeah,
he's disorientated.
He's basically cattle. Like there's a cattle waiting for him to
right there.
Cannon fire right there. But he walked 5 miles to get these 2 jabronis just bopping around. And by the way, it takes it might take 20 minutes to walk a mile at a casual pace.
Sure.
Jason walks extraordinarily slow, and he walks 5 miles in a matter of like 2 minutes. but I gotta crawl. Like it would take him what?
An hour
or more to get there?
And it wouldn't make sense for him to walk 5 miles away from the lake.
Yeah. Another thing that was here we go, first kill. Grabs the weird girl and wham! Some kind of knife or tent stake through the back of the head.
Yep.
Kill number 1.
I mean, this is one that I heard was also fucking slashed to pieces with the MPAA.
I have notes on that too. Yes, it was. Yeah, tent spike through the neck now. Although I looked for the back of the head the first time, and now I guess it's through the neck.
Well, I'm sure it was in the back of the head. Then he decided to pose her.
I do like how she just drops there. I like that fall down the tree. Jason goes after this dude. Yeah, here we go. The director, John Bolcher, has publicly fumed many times over the years about the number of edits required to the MPAA to avoid an X rating. The film had to be submitted 9 times to the MPA of America before it was granted an R rating. And as it stands, the argument was heavily censored entering the Friday 13th series. Oh, and there's a tent stake in the back.
Yeah, he rarely throws things. And there he threw the tent stake. Like I was getting away. Jason's like, I just came out of retirement. This motherfucker is fleet of foot. He's running away. God damn it. Throw it. Smack.
Yeah. Death by tent stake. So yeah, it was and apparently also there's at the time, I don't know if it's still a thing, but when I was doing my research, the only way to see the film uncut, like it was supposed to be seen, is to score an early 1989 Dutch release of the VHS,
Ooh.
which is apparently somewhat rare, but it includes all the uncut death scenes with added blood and gore and facial reactions to all that. So all the stuff that probably made it an X was apparently on the Dutch VHS release.
Interesting.
In '89.
Okay, well, that's something we might have to hunt down.
Yeah.
Will we? No.
Because
Especially
I'm not
since,
spending thousands of
I was
dollars.
about to
on
say,
a
people are
VHS.
probably going to be like, dude, top dollar. If you really want to see
Yep.
the way it was supposed to be made, you know, if you're a true hardcore Friday 13th Part 7, a New Blood fan, like I am, I you know what? I would actually like to see how much one is.
So, all right, we got Greaser Guy in the kitchen with Nerdy Girl, and which is another one of those like weird mashups, like characters, like you look at all the like the blonde mean girls, the snobby bitchy girls, the party girls, and but why would this Nerdy Girl be there? Like that's what like again like she does like it doesn't seem like they'd actually be friends, or she would be the Nerdy Girl would have been invited to the snobby preppy girls party or wherever this is. Like she's like, why is she there?
I have no problem with this. She's still like, look, this is the way I look at it. They're coming of age. They're not quite, like, they're like 16, 17, maybe 18, right? They're not, definitely not 21. And I think you can tell, like, the dynamic between the nerdy girl and the redheaded kind of brunette girl.
Yeah.
You could probably see that they have been bosom buddies, and the one girl just hasn't quite yet left the womb, hasn't quite ready, and she's ready, and the other girl is ready to leave the nest.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. So I'm okay with it.
Oh, totally right. Name is Melissa.
Yeah. I remember that because I watched this not too long ago.
Well, your wife's name is Melissa too. So that
Yeah,
probably
and that's
helps.
why. Because exactly. That's exactly what it was. And I saw Melissa, which is my wife's name, get horribly murdered and be a total bitch. And I'm like, well, that's not my wife. And I don't want to see my wife get murdered. So, you know, just sticks in your craw a little bit. And, like, there's panties and bras on
The
the door.
bra is hanging off a calendar. So Melissa's trying to hook up with Nick. Tina runs away, finds a tent stake and stuck in her door outside of her cabin. Let's see where else I can. Oh, nothing like dead air right now. Hope you can hear the movie.
Sorry. I'm actually currently looking up, trying to find the Dutch VHS for Friday 13th Part 7 right now, and I'm having a little bit of trouble. Although I did find a Part 7 Sideshow exclusive 12-inch figure for $625 fucking dollars.
Christ.
Go suck a D. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. I'm having trouble finding it, but the current DVD is on sale for $1.92. So I don't know how.
All right, so here we're at the scene where Bernie went out to look at his tent stake. I looked away, and I'm pretty sure he takes it off and throws it off. It's not, even though you can clearly see the mark of where it was. I mean, he's like,
And
there's
this
nothing here.
This
But
is something that I think as the mother, she's really falling flat for. I mean, she's like, there's a camp spike, there's a tent spike, oh my God. And they go out, and yes, the tent spike is gone, but when they see there's a huge fucking gash
in the
wood,
Yeah.
you know, like, holy shit, she might be onto something there. What the fuck is going on?
All right, skip to another couple camping in the woods now.
All right, I got to do a deep dive to find it. I thought maybe I could find it quick on top, but, you know, it did pop up on my Google search, so apparently it is something that is desired. So, is this just some random couple? Were they supposed to go to the party? I don't think they were.
I don't know. There's just and there's the machete he picks up. We know what's gonna happen with that.
Yeah, she's like, go get more fire for the... Go get more wood for
wood.
the fire. Go get more for the... And it immediately goes inside. What a bitch. Just have him go inside with you. Just give him a striptease. Because, I mean, God damn it.
This is also I'm probably saying now because but I found it so funny. I found it weird that in all the other previous movies, with the exception of 5, but Camp Crystal Lake, was such this big spread out nature, like national park thing with a giant crystal. Like Crystal Lake almost at some point seemed like the size of like one of the Great Lakes or something. It was a giant lake.
It was a big fucking
lake.
For us in the St. Louis area, especially Metro East area, Carlisle Lake.
Yes, Lake Carlisle Lake. Yeah, it's a great. Yeah.
You can take a boat out onto it and drive.
Yeah, a big lake. But in this movie, it's basically Crystal Pond. It's so small.
Yeah.
In this lake, in this movie, that that was one thing as I got older and watching more, it kind of angers me because it makes it seem like. Because in the other ones, there's so big. There's a campground over here. There's a town over there. It's so expansive what it can do. And here it's just this tiny little lake. So that means everything is cramped. Like it really brings the scale down.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Which makes it more weird when Jason goes 5 miles out of his way.
Yeah.
So we just saw fucking camp man get punched through the back. Again, a rare move for Jason. You big hunk of a man, come and get me. Dan, you hunk of a man. Dan, the hunk of man.
Yeah, a girl in yellow sleeping bag in the tent.
Oh boy, here comes my one of my favorite kills of all time.
Everybody's favorite kill.
So here comes the iconic yellow sleeping bag kill.
Yep.
If you're not familiar with it, then fuck you. You should know exactly what's happening.
I actually have some good notes on this after this is over. And wham! Done. And she's dead.
And she is blasted. From what I understand, it was multiple times.
Yes. Here's where I got. Kane Hodder had difficulty with the scene where he kills the camper in a sleeping bag by bashing into the tree because the dummy inside was heavier than he thought it would be. This scene required a number of retakes because he kept swinging as hard as he could, but no matter how hard he swung the sleeping bag, he couldn't get it to look right. By the final take, he was so fed up with the situation that after he dropped the bag, he kicked it angrily. This is the shot that appears in the final film. I don't think they show the kick though. In retrospect, Hodder says that it became one of his favorite kills of all time, and he also claims that the man can weigh about 95 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, if you make a life-size dummy like in there, I mean, yeah, Kane Hodder's a big, strong guy. At the same time, whipping a 95-pound person,
dead weight, too,
dead weight in the bag like that. Yeah, he can probably get a couple good whips here and there, but after like. You don't have a lot of takes in you.
See, here's again. Look how small that lake is. It's a fucking pond. Mm-hmm. Anyway, speaking of the sleeping bag kill, this is kind of sick. This makes you wonder about the writer. Apparently, it was inspired by the screenwriter's urges to kill his own sister. According to Hanley, the writer, I used to shove my brother into a sleeping bag when I was a kid. I once had a fantasy of killing my kid's sister the same way. I guess that's why it becomes so popular because people can relate to it. What? I've never fantasized about murdering a sibling in a sleeping bag before. I can't relate to that.
I have an older sister, not that much older. I never fantasized about killing my sister before.
Yeah,
in any way, shape, or form.
If any authorities are listening, go find Dan Henley and might check out for any unanswered murderers or something. He should be a person of interest in something, I'm sure.
So this is where Melissa's creeping around in her designer clothes, which I kind of love. Creeping on Tina and hunky jean jacket guy. I saw my father get killed.
So you're okay now, aren't you?
Yeah, he's got good hair. I could see him being a soap star. I know you mentioned he's in a lot of soap opera stuff. So
yeah,
I could see that. Generic hunky.
Yeah,
generic hunky. You know. Now they hear some scattering, some brush twitching, and they go to look to see. You know, Melissa's not there, but it was Melissa that was creeping.
Here's another fact about talking about the lake itself, or the pond, as I call it. During the filming, the producers hired Leslie Busby, a local gator man, to be the alligator wrangler and keep gators away from the actors. However, alligators are not active in the winter when they were filming in October and November, so they basically end up paying this guy to do nothing but watch the lake, watch the water, free money basically.
Dude, I bet he was just like, yeah, I'll make sure those gators are at bay.
Yeah, he knew.
You got it. Of course he knew. He didn't say, well, Gators aren't gonna be active, man. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You know.
You took that money.
Yeah, he's like, I'll do my best. You got it. God, the mother is so weird looking. I can't describe it. She's just such a strange looking person. I cannot get over
Bernie
it.
reminds me so much of fucking Robert Downey Jr. now. I look at him and see like very much like an older, like it's fucking Iron Man, dude. Look at Tony Stark in the 80s.
Sure, I can see that. I can totally see that. Absolutely.
All right, so our main other group of girls are out barbecuing some kebabs there, drinking booze,
cooking the food for the men folk.
I don't think that grill's even turned on.
No shit.
They're just sitting there.
Those kebabs ain't doing a goddamn thing.
They ain't cooking anything.
Just sitting there in the sun.
Oh, here's token black guy with a football. Every black guy in every horror movie in the days was always the jock.
He's got a basketball or a football or.
In part 8, he was a boxer.
Yeah. I like how they really accepted Tina into their group. You know, like, everyone there is like, hey, Tina, no one here knows you, and you just are next door, but we like you. Come on and hang out. They really bring Tina under their wing, except for Melissa, who is a bitch to everyone.
Our greaser kind of Judd Nelson wannabe.
Yeah.
And our army jacket patch man.
He's the author of the group. He's the sci-fi nerd. The sci-fi nerd. Who's got the German army jacket, like the 80s punk rock kind of army jacket on.
Which I don't mind. I always like that.
This scene right here kind of makes me think of that, you know, don't do drugs. She's like, I've never done drugs, but I'm going to do drugs now because boys.
Boys.
I get the impression that, you know, she wants to be the wild and crazy, but, you know, old nerd fucking mousy chick.
They're teasing.
Don't tease Tina.
Oh, she's giving him the death stare.
She cannot take a joke.
Oh. And there goes the pearl necklace.
I gotta say, the actress actually flexed her neck muscles there too, to make it give a little more emphasis on, I guess, energy or something going on around her neck. Yeah,
she uses the force.
Yeah, the telekinesis powers, the Jean Grey powers, if you will.
She's turning a Dark Phoenix at the end of the movie.
Kinda.
Kinda.
You ever give a girl a pearl necklace?
We're gonna go there right now.
Why not, baby?
Yes.
Ah, good for you. I did too.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. All right. Only once. Only once. It was.
We do believe you, Tina. Your psychokineses and these delusions are just all tied together. No, you're not listening to me.
She's not doing a good job of like trying to show herself as a rational person.
No.
She just.
We're starting to make some real progress because you are here.
I love the fact that I'm a medical professional and the guy's just like, all right, I'm gonna put you back in the loony bin. You're gonna be fucked. You know? Like it's not exactly how it works, man.
Oh, there goes the TV.
Although I do have to say, as a medical professional, I've never seen a patient throw a TV at the doctor with their mind.
Yes.
So it might be a little different. Things might be a little different. Wow, it's instantly dark time. Dark time? Nighttime?
Nighttime.
Dark time.
Dark time.
It's instantly dark time.
Dark time.
Another beer, please.
Another beer.
Did your cousin Michael ever show up?
So Michael was the first guy in the woods that got killed with the girl.
Oh, okay.
So cousin Michael, whose birthday it is.
Well, we've had
Hasn't
two guys
showed up.
killed in the woods. Which one was Michael?
He was the one whose
Oh, yeah,
car broke
the
down.
first one. The first one. The second
very-
one's name was
yeah.
Dan. Yeah, Dan. Stud man.
Dan, you hunk of man.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we're gonna take a quick pause because the beer's going through me, and Marshall's got to go take a potty break. Be right back. And we're back.
And we're back!
All right. Sorry about that, but when nature calls, nature's calls.
So we are pushing play again.
Pushing 1, 2, 3. Pushing play now. All right, here we go.
So, Tina just walked in from Gene Boy. They're
Nick.
panning over to Tina's house to the party house
To the
right
party
now.
house.
So I looked up online. I did find a Greek version of this movie of Friday 13th Part 7, A New Blood. Greek, with Greek subtitles made for the Greek audience that are selling for $80. So I don't know if that's possibly part of the Dutch release. Who knows?
I don't know, but here we go. We're getting to skinny dipping scene now with what's her name.
Aaron, shut up. Skinny dipping's happening.
Yeah, that's right. About to get nudity.
Stop
Shut
talking about trivia.
Up. About to get tits. I forget this character's name, but the other blonde.
Yeah, she just strips off. Nice butt.
Nice butt. That's Sally. I don't know.
She runs into the lake buck naked. And she's loving it. She kind of reminds me of the Zit friend from Slumber Party Massacre 2.
Yeah, you're kind of right.
Yeah. And here comes Jason around the corner. Sorry, prep school. Your days are numbered. A final request as he tries to scramble away.
This shirt is so pastel and bright. Oh, axe to the head.
Ooh, I just love. That's one of my favorite Friday 13th kills because it's smooth and seamless. Like the axe doesn't catch on anything; it just cuts right through the face.
I love that. Jason's on the shore, kills the guy. She pops out of the water, sees his dead body. Now Jason's like pops up out of the water. Like what? He got into the water. And he gets some great upshot nakedness.
Yeah,
you can see some vag and a little bit of vag and some
Yeah.
lips there and some hair.
I love how graphic you are with the description.
Titties there.
We get some upshot. We get some lips, some hair, some labia majora, some labia minora. I think if she spreads wide enough, we can see a little vulva action going on. Perhaps the ovaries will come into play.
Anyway, she gets pulled down by her ankle. She's dead.
You were in it to win it.
Well, I figure in case I figure people aren't watching along, but I feel like it's my job to
To really break it down for him.
I gotta give it the most detail possible. It's an audio format. It's not visual. Gotta let them know what they're getting.
I love how they show the black couple, and the girl looks like she's dressed like a fucking child.
Yeah, overalls and a kid shirt.
She's
basically
wearing overalls with a bright, like goofy yellow shirt with a big fluffy blue bow
Couch
in her
Patch
hair.
Kid.
Yes,
She looks
very,
like something a Couch Patch Kid would wear.
yes, or My Buddy, like
My Buddy.
the
yeah.
My Buddy doll.
That's exactly My
You know,
Buddy. That's
yeah.
it. So Nerdy Girl is now about to get all sexified. Oh, take those glasses off. This is her. She's all that moment.
Yeah.
Like she's never used makeup before in her life, and now she's gonna use it. All right, Jason's dragging
Or
naked girl.
Good for her. Committing to the
That's a
bit.
stunt woman, actually. They actually hired a stunt woman just to be dragged naked up the shore.
Yeah, you're gonna get scratches, all kinds of rocks and shit.
Well, if they're good movie producers, they make sure all that stuff is cleaned out of the sink, get all those rocks and sticks and stuff off.
You don't want it too clean though.
then we got
She
the stupid-
is persistent. Star Mummy. I did like that because he was so stoned. She is persistent, and maybe this is something that I learned as a youth: is if you ignore girls and are kind of not necessarily a dick to him, but like just a little rude to him, like he's like, I don't even like you. They will pursue as hard as they can. Just don't be,
Jason's arrived
don't
to
be
the
a
party
total
now.
don't be a total dick. Just a little bit of a dick.
There you go, guys. Dating advice with Aaron.
Yeah, don't be a total dick to girls. Just a little dick. Just a little dickish.
Back to Bernie sitting in his little office den.
It's like, did I get my Maserati
And what's he
painted?
opening out of the drawer? The tent stake he pulled out of the wall earlier.
That sneaky fuck. That sneaky son of a bitch making Tina seem extra cuckoo birds.
Yep.
Taking the spike out of the wall. Melissa's, she's actually probably the least attractive girl here, in my opinion.
Honestly, I think Nerdy Girl is. Or the black girl.
Dude, I'd rather go with either one of them before I go with that Melissa. She's just too, she's
Melissa or Mom? Melissa or mom?
Mom.
Really?
Mom's got some ass on her, at least. Mom looks like she's been playing tennis since the 40s.
Speaking of mom just entered a dark room without, for some reason, not turning a light on for some reason.
Part of our theme song, brother.
Yeah.
Finally.
She turns a desk lamp
There
on
we
instead of the
go.
actual lamp, but yeah, still something.
But yeah, mom before Melissa. Melissa's just too fucking skinny. Just like bone thin skinny.
She's skinny. I don't think she's that skinny.
She ain't got no ass. She ain't got no titties.
Nobody in this movie really has any titties, to be honest with you. Which is surprising for a horror movie. Normally, at least you get one bimbo character with the big tits. But
Right?
Not in this one.
Yeah, well, the girl who drowned had at least something.
Something, yeah. So Bernie's out wandering around the woods now trying to find himself or something.
With the,
I don't know.
the quarter turtleneck.
Yeah. Finds a dead body in a tree.
Yeah,
And a bloody steak. Tent steak.
So he sees this.
Yep.
It is now manifested. So I'm wondering, does he think that, is he like, holy shit, Tina did this? Or if there's an actual killer. Yeah. Because that's why he doesn't, like, totally freak the fuck out, I think. Oh, my fingerprints are on this. Throw
And
this
now
down.
here comes the lightning. That guy's got a pop collar on his sport coat.
with a quarter turtleneck.
Yeah, that's an interesting look.
So it's a weird look, man.
So
It
mom
was-
now finds a tent stake in Bernie's desk
It was the
drawer.
late 80s. They were trying to figure shit out.
And a VHS tape in a nice box too.
Clamshell.
Clamshell, yeah, thank you.
Clamshell box.
It's
yeah.
weird, like you just carry those around. Like I get having taking a tape to record also, but you carry around clamshells now too. Like
Hey man, you got to keep it protected. This is medical research.
right, but I was thinking just being
is-
a regular sleeve.
This is my research VHS. I'm gonna spring for the $3.99 clamshell upgrade.
Bernie comes back in.
And he is pissed that mom is snooping through his
Well,
shit.
mom's pissed at him too for lying.
That's why I'm here.
First I find this spike and then this. What have you been doing to my
Yeah. No, nobody cares. Just give me Jason, give me Psychic Girl, and be happy.
hiding this all this time?
I can't expect you to understand this highly complicated process.
You know, it's so funny. I remember as a kid, I remember watching Weekend at Bernie's and thinking, this is a great actor. Bernie. I'm going to see him in all kinds of stuff, I'm sure. And I saw him in this. And I was like, oh, yeah. Here we go. Weekend at Bernie's. And I didn't realize this was before.
This was before. This was actually he did Weekend Bernie's right after this movie.
That's fucking hilarious.
I think Weekend Bernie's I think came out in '89. It was the very next movie
Yeah.
he did after this movie.
So
He went from this to Bernie.
that's hilarious. I thought for sure Weekend at Bernie's guy was going to be in all kinds of stuff. Brilliant actor. Brilliant.
It ain't easy playing dad convincingly.
Didn't pan out that way, Marshall.
Well, yeah. Well, I think he did Weekend Bernie's 2 and Mannequin 2. I think you kind of have the writings on the wall there. So Tina's eavesdropping outside his office, hearing what Bernie and Mama are talking about. And Bernie just
He
says,
always threats. He's always threatening, like, I'm going to have her committed. I'm going to take her away. Blah, blah, blah. You can't just do that.
yeah. So Tina is grabbing her keys and she's gonna steal the car and leave.
It's just funny, like, hearing all that, like, I want to take her away. I'm going to take her, and there's nothing you can do about it, Ma. And Mom's like, oh, no. You know, I'm just like, it doesn't work that way. What do you got to do?
So Tina's racing down a dirt road past what's his name's car on the side of the road.
So,
And now she's saying visions of Jason killing Mama in the middle of the road.
she sees visions of Jason butt humping Mom. And
she
then
crashes
has
the tree.
The lamest crash ever.
And we've seen worse.
Yeah.
The one we saw in Devil's Rain. That was worse than that one.
Devil's
one.
Rain was bad, but the worst one I think of all time was Lover's Lane,
Oh God.
the Valentine's Day one.
Yeah, I remember that movie.
That was probably the worst accident.
That was pretty. I don't know. I think
was-
Devil's Rain was better.
It was
worse.
dark outside, light outside, dark outside,
Yeah.
and light out. Like Lover's Lane, it just
Right.
change.
But I'm saying the crash itself, I think, was worse than Devil's Rain. Because
Oh,
that was like they just barely. It was like tip to tip. Like this tapped the tree with the car. So Tina's running off.
So she
Nerdy
passed,
girl's all sexified now.
Yeah, she is. But she passed that guy's car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same guy who was 5 miles outside of Crystal Lake.
Yeah, I guess. So we're 5
So
miles
she's
now.
5. Like they really need to tighten up that
Wait,
radius.
Is it Matt? Is it his car? Or was it Dan's car? You don't know. Whose
Again,
car it was.
regardless, it's still like
Yeah, it's a car.
at most 5 miles out, which is it's a far way. It's a far way for
I
people.
still gotta do Melissa and the Nerdy because at least Melissa, you know, she's gonna be dirty girl in the sack. She's gonna be fun. Nerdy girl ain't gonna know what the shit she's doing.
That's true. That's true.
Nerdy girl's gonna be scared. Like, what's a penis? What do I do with it? What?
Put it here. Hello. Phone. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. If that's part of the criteria, then
Like I say, it's not part. I'm just something to think. Something to think about. If you're picking your.
you can tell you play a lot of role-playing games.
Yeah.
She may not be as attractive, but she does have the slut factor of a +9.
We call that charisma. Her charisma modifier would be through the roof.
In the D&D world, we call that charisma. Charisma, you call it.
Her charisma's bonus, yeah, would be very high.
AKA, she knows how to work that dick.
Yeah. So Nerdy Girl is walking around the woods now for some reason. Oh, she's lost an earring. Oh my god, my earring.
Hey, man. Who knows? Might be expensive.
Yes.
Nerdy Girl does have a face like a trog.
Yeah. And of course, she's not wearing her glasses because she had to take those off for her She's All That moment. Because
I thought she looked better with the glasses on, honestly.
all right, she's found her earring. Thank God.
Convenient, man. That's quick.
She can find it. We story can move forward.
Let's go.
Oh, man, down comes prep school guy with
Preppy
like no
pastel
face
shirt.
now.
His face has been split open from the axe swing. Let me
There's
see.
Jason.
She goes prancing through the woods.
She does run pretty well in high heels for somebody who's probably never been in heels before.
High stepping, baby. You gotta be high stepping.
Runs to some barn, some building. Who knows where this is now? Because it certainly wasn't part of the other, the other two. The other
No,
homes.
and again, girl, wouldn't you don't you? You see that you're trapping yourself inside of this
Yeah.
building.
And Trump making noise over that.
This isn't a giant building. It'd be different if it was like
a big warehouse
a
again.
big warehouse.
It's a tiny.
It's a shack.
It's a large shack, small barn. Basically, is what it is. Dirt floors. And
I gotta hand it to her though. She does scuttle underneath to get away from him pretty well.
yeah.
It's a pretty good shot. But Jason just goes, "I see you, bitch."
There you are.
He just pops his head right up and
I got you, bitch.
then
And now he disappears.
He
Oh,
plays
no, there he
dumb.
is.
He plays dumb. He's
walks
like,
away.
"Well, I guess she's gone."
She does take her heels off, which is a smart move to run around easier.
Hey, she ain't the brainy girl for nothing.
Yeah, it's true. But she wasn't brainy enough to not lock herself into a small building.
True.
Oh, I get you try to hide. I get that. You don't know what we were running into, I guess, but oh, there's Jason
Yeah,
again.
Jason's about to leave, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Nah,
Nope, I'm gonna
change
pick
of
up a sickle.
change of heart." Old smarty pants ain't gonna outsmart me here. She seems to be aware that he's right there, though.
Yep. And bust through the wall, sickle, and cut away.
Again, this, from what I really do understand, this movie was butchered quite a bit from the MPAA,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate. And we did talk about the Dutch cut, but I remember watching a very in-depth review by Cinemassacre. Cinemassacre did a good review on this before, and they said on the Blu-ray, on their extras, you can see a lot of the unedited, uncut deaths. Now, it's unfortunate because it's not incorporated into the actual film itself.
Yeah.
But you can still see them outside of, if you still really
Right.
want to see them, you can see them.
Anyway, so Mom and Bernie just found Tina's car on the road, and they take off running to the woods now. And Jason's now showed up at the party house where nerdy guy...
Stoner doing his tidy whities, ass in the air.
The funny thing is about that scene is like it looked like it was like almost a onesie. Because the
'Cause
shirt
his-
and the white there was no separation. It looked like it was a one piece like baby onesie.
His white t-shirt, his white undershirt is so tight against his whitey tighties. Looks like one piece.
It did. All right, Jason going up to the van.
Kind of felt bad for even as a kid, I was like, why the black couple got to be out in the van? Why can't they
Well,
be
apparently
banging
they're
inside?
rotating because earlier it was the white couple that was in the van getting it on.
Is that what they were doing? Were they rotating?
I guess they're rotating because remember the first one was like, this is my uncle's house.
That's
Why are we in
true.
the van?
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good point.
it's the banging van. I guess it's like taking numbers. Oh,
They
it's my turn for the
take
van.
turns. Okay. Happy fucking birthday. These actually probably are the best actors, and they're featured like the least amount of this movie. No one's there.
No one's there.
See, I was a little. This guy seems a little too committed to giving the spooks to Michael or to go out there.
I thought his name was Michael.
No, Michael's the guy who's supposed to be. Yeah, he just said, "Come on, Michael."
That's right. Okay. I'm not doing good keeping these characters straight in this movie.
It doesn't matter. All you gotta know is Tina and Melissa,
And Nick, really. Tina, Nick, and Melissa. Yeah.
and we know Bernie and Mom.
Bernie and Mom. Yeah.
Bernie, Mom, Jason. Yeah, the rest disposable.
Oh, I mean, this guy gets like the party favor in the eye or something like that.
Oh, that's her. That's her death.
That's hers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember his?
I thought it was
remember
the party.
it.
I thought he was the party favor. Okay, then let's see.
No, his is pretty classic. This is the first time I think they've ever done this on Friday the 13th.
A head crush?
And he's crushing his head. And this
I don't know
one,
if that's the first time. I'm not a Friday the 13th historian, but I can't imagine that's the first time they ever did a head crush.
well, it's definitely the most one that left the biggest impression on me. So you saw a little bit of blood coming out there.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing on the Cinemassacre review, they showed like the actual kill. It is gruesome. He keeps crushing and crushing. There's blood flying everywhere. It's flying everywhere. It's in slow motion. He's waving his head
Okay,
back
now
and
the girl
forth.
gets the party favor. Right in the eye. In the soft eye hole.
Old soft eye hole. But apparently it's an incredibly
know what?
gruesome,
I didn't-
slow motion, like crushing of the head. It's really intense, and they had to...
Before I
yeah.
was doing my notes or doing a little research for this watch along, I never knew that about this movie that was edited so much. And that makes me so sad now.
Yes.
Like, I'm so disappointed in this movie now. Like this is one of my favorite ones too.
Yeah.
And now it's like, and I'm like, this fucking sucks. Like fuck this movie. Like it's like ruining like that thing that fondness I had for this movie, knowing that it was so bastardized and so butchered and cut back on what could have been even better. And now we're left with like this. And
But
like,
the MPAA did so much to like horror movies, like all the trauma movies that got butchered and like put on the chopping block. Like Trauma War got fucking butchered. A lot of the Toxies later got butchered. So much stuff got, because they had...
Man, everybody's getting it on right now. I'm sorry, but we've gone to our third couple now who's getting it on. We had the black couple dead. We had Melissa and Nerdy Guy making out, but he just left. They split. But now we go to another. Now we go to the redhead and the greaser
stoner,
guy,
yeah.
and they're getting it on. Man, it's just a sex fest.
Well, she's
going
the only
on.
one that shows her titties.
Well,
Good for her.
Girl in Lake was naked too.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
I'm like, where's her titties at? I'm like, oh, there they are. The microphone from the angle I'm sitting, my microphone's blocking her tits. I had to move my head. I'm like, oh, there they are.
Now these are the stoned. They're all stoned.
She's got some okay tits too, I guess. But a lot, yeah, just surprising. Like everybody in this cast is relatively
They're normal
on the
people.
flatter side.
Well, they're just the flatter or normal people.
Yeah. All right, so Nick and Tina's find the dead body in the tree.
They find Michael.
Mike, okay. Oh, there he is, Michael.
Yeah, for a guy who has very little in this movie, his name is mentioned quite a bit.
This thing's been mentioned more than like the actual characters that are still alive. I still don't know their name.
Yeah, but we know Michael.
We know Michael for sure.
He's been on screen. He had a whole 3 minutes of
3
screen
minutes
presence.
screen
Yeah.
All right, hand me another one of those beers. All right, Jason enters the house. The scene coming up, there's a scene coming up that is one of my favorites from when I was a kid. It always stuck with me as being actually like I remember being scared. Like, oh, it was scary, but it was cool at the same time. And it wasn't a kill or anything. It was something else. But
oh, I know what you're talking about.
Red tighties. I'm sorry.
See, I think they did
There's
a
the
good.
titties.
I think they did a good job of selling these people as high. You know, because he
high or
fell out
just
of
drunk?
bed and she's laughing. Goes, it's dark. You know, and they're just like goofy. You know, whereas other movies is like they're hallucinating half the time when they smoke weed. They're just goofy. You know, he's not so forgetful he doesn't give her a flashlight. He gives her one.
Gee, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, it involves this guy too coming up here. No, she's gonna do that flashlight while he's gone. Yeah, it's right here. This scene right here. He enters the kitchen.
It's all dark. The power's
Yeah,
out.
power's dark. He's in the kitchen.
Balloons all around.
Lightning
Flashes, and he's in the corner.
Yeah, that scene to me was always one of my favorites from
Yeah.
all the Friday 13th.
And it's
like,
subtle.
All of them.
It's
Yeah.
subtle. Yeah.
Oh, I did notice like this. If you know he's there and you're looking for, you can kind of see him before lightning strike. But at the time, I was like, "That's awesome! It's so scary! Like, oh my god, he's right there!" And I was as a kid like, that, "Yeah, I love that. Still love it to this
They
day."
borrowed that from I think like Halloween. You know. Or,
Oh,
you
I'm
know.
sure a lot of things, but it was
It was
so
still
good.
very
I
cool.
loved it. And now he comes sneaking up with his Michael Myers kitchen knife.
Giant kitchen knife. Jesus.
Oh, knife into the gut. Quick death. I don't think you would die that quick from that stabbing. You'd be hanging on a little longer than that.
Yeah, it's kind of lame.
That was a lame
Again,
one. I don't know if there's
lot-
more.
a
I don't
lot-
know if there's more to that one or not, but that was kind of a lame one.
It's unfortunate. A lot of the deaths, not all of them. There's some good ones in here, but a lot of the deaths in this movie are just, like you said, butchered. You know, it's unfortunate. And I'm
Tina
really
and Nick
curious.
Tina and Nick are back in Bernie's office. They find the tent stake that she talked about. She's like, "That bastard!" And all right, so she finds a gun in the drawer. What kind of doctor is this? Jesus, you got a fucking gun.
He's an American, Marshall.
Yeah, he's an American. And now she finds the journal and notebooks of all the Crystal Lake clippings and.
This is important. Jason Voorhees. This is where she realizes, whoops. I think I may have fucked things up, guys.
My bad. My bad. Sorry, everyone.
So about your cousin being murdered? Yeah. I
Anyway,
think
shit's going crazy now. The room is shaking. Everything's falling off. She's having a conniption fit.
Nick realizes she's a fucking Jean Grey. I always liked the music. Yeah, I always thought the music was very cool. As a kid, it was like mystical creepy. Like she has mystical, like, psychic powers, but they were also creepy.
Son of a bitch. Many happy returns. Love, Melissa.
And this is kind of funny because the guy is going through, like, when I remember watching this as a kid, I thought to myself, maybe this was his birthday party. This was supposed to be his. But no, he's opening up the guy who hasn't shown up to his own birthday party. He's opening up that guy's presents.
What the fuck is he doing now, though?
What
He's
a
like
dick.
going like a Walkman over the presidents and like scanning like he's a fucking Star Trek ground team or something.
He's
Like,
high too, you know. He's just being ridiculous.
But is
I,
he
I
high?
did
I
I
don't
did
know.
like this.
Personal penis enlarger.
The personal penis enlarger consists of a magnifying glass.
Yes, that's
Wah,
the
wah,
Spencer's
wah.
gift.
Yeah.
Gift.
Yeah.
You get that at Spencer's gifts in the mall.
But I remember in the
Anyway,
80s
we should say we did see Melissa at this point sneak out of the house.
exit the
She's-
room.
she's
But I
gone.
just remember in the 80s it was like personal magnifying glass. Oh, how do they think of this stuff? Holy shit. I remember that. I remember that being in the 80s, being a kid, like, they're so cool. Now as an adult, I'm like, ugh.
We'll find her, Tina. We'll find her, but let's get everybody so we can leave together.
Oh, so serious.
Not hey, Nick's got a good plan. Get everyone and get out. Everybody get together. Dude, they didn't eat any of the cake. That's the most unbelievable
And
thing.
he's got this is a Spencer's Gifts birthday. He's got the titty cup, the titty coffee mug, a penis large. Like they just went to Spencer's Gifts to buy everything for this movie. Anyway,
goes
Jason just kills
Nerdlinger.
nerd guy,
Old Nerdlinger got killed.
and now he's slowly going upstairs to the redhead in the bed, who just got done using that flashlight in a complete inappropriate manner.
Damn, bro, you went there.
I like to think that's what happened.
She just had,
Some more titties.
She was in her post-coital bliss.
Girls, she might not. We all know that girls can go, and like, she probably didn't get off. That guy's high. He didn't get her.
So she had to use a mag light to.
Probably bigger too.
Damn.
Like,
Bigger.
It had to be bigger. And it was black.
I was about to say bigger and blacker.
Yeah, this is what happens when we freestyle.
Yeah.
We just
start drinking too much from watching this. She's looking for her boy.
It's an ugly quilt on the wall.
Yeah, big time.
Blanket. It's probably more. It's not a quilt. That's a blanket, but pretty ugly.
Now, he did clearly say that he was going downstairs for beers.
Yes.
And she's like, well, I'm just going to snoop around upstairs now.
This is the yeah. She should have gone just straight downstairs.
You got anything on this chick?
No, I don't have anything on her.
Because I don't think she has a bad job by any means. I mean, compared to anybody else.
You can look up, go to IMDb and look up and try to figure out who she is. But I don't know what character. I don't know her name or who. What she does. So she's found one of the room all messed up.
Does find a bong.
But yeah, there's a bong on the table. Which is funny. I don't think I've ever noticed that before until just now.
Well, you know what it looks like now.
As a kid, I didn't know what a fucking bong was.
As a 9 or 10-year-old, you'd be like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's clearly a bong.
Excuse me. Yeah, there's even joints and more.
Joints everywhere.
And what looks like grass clippings in a bag? I guess that's supposed to be pot.
It's just like a Caprese salad or something.
Yeah, no shit. Little mozzarella, a slice of tomato. It's delicious. Hey.
David, are you in there?
Why would he be in there? How high are you? I will say we get one of the famous jump scares here, of just the horror movie cliche jump scares.
The tropes. Is it a cat?
Well, you'll have to see.
Oh
my God! It's a cat.
Which we have not seen the entire movie. We're an hour, 20 minutes in the movie now, and this is the first time we've ever seen a cat. Like,
no one's mentioned a cat. No one's seen a cat. No one's scooped a cat box. No one's fed a cat.
Yeah, no, there's only a cat.
Locked in a closet.
Locked in the closet all for God knows how long. Because they've been there this whole time. Like, that thing's been there for like days, weeks,
at least 2 days.
Yeah, at least 2 days.
Poor cat.
The closet's gonna stink too. That's gonna be cat piss and shit all over that closet.
She's high. She didn't give a shit. She's like, it's soft.
She's on pot, not ecstasy. Nope, she's found blood on the bed. Looks over, and there's someone's head.
Oh, that's her beau's head.
Jason comes out into the room.
Now this is when fucking Kane Hodder made Jason creepy to me. Like he doesn't let you leave the room. He
lets you leave. He let her leave.
But she definitely looks like she's clearly jumping out the window. And I thought that was the worst death. The worst death.
The window throw.
Great start, and then she falls and hits the ground, and we don't see any blood. We don't see her impaled.
It could be,
You're right.
I doubt that would have been cut too much, but unless there was original. Actually, I think I read something in my notes somewhere. I don't think I wrote it down, but I read somewhere about that kill. Like either it was the original kill was different. Like, I think they did get cut by the MP, and then that was a reshoot. They had to go back to LA, reshoot that kill.
It looks choppy as fuck.
Yeah. That was a reshoot. They had to. The original one was like they had to cut it or get rid of it, and so after the movie was done, they was like, all right, we got to reshoot. They probably shot that in LA, and that was a last minute add in substitute kill.
Yeah, it's a very ugly kill.
And honestly, I don't know if it would kill you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like it would
Yeah.
hurt.
Mhm.
So you get a wind knocked
She,
out,
like,
you'd be like, oh.
they even
Jesus.
show her land like on her feet, fall to her knees, and onto her chest.
Yeah, she's falling feet. Like, her fall is weird looking too.
She lands on her feet and then crashes forward for the momentum. I get it. I understand. I'd fall the same way, but I'd probably go, oh God, it hurts so much.
Yeah.
Get up and get out of there.
So we're back to Mom and Bernie in the woods.
I do love it when Mom goes, Tina! She just has a giant Care Bear mouth.
You're a fucking coward.
Ooh, drops the F-bomb.
Oh, and here comes Jason. God, I love his teleporting.
So, yeah, that's...
He's at the party house, and now he's out in the middle of the woods.
Because we've already established these guys could be as much,
at
if
least
not
5 miles
more than
away.
5 miles out.
I love the fact he's now, the weapon he's got now is like a fucking... Dude, it's...
Like a pruning...
It's I don't know what it is. I think it's supposed to be a prune, but look at the blade on that thing. That thing looks like something you'd see in like a Mortal Kombat video game.
Yeah, or like...
It's huge.
Like Shaolin
Or like,
monk.
yeah, like it's one of those old
Yeah.
like ancient martial arts weapons like you see a kung fu, like a monk be using or something like that. Not quite Naginata, but Jesus Christ, it's
Oh,
pretty
this is where
close
Bernie uses the mom
for
as
the
a...
shield, yeah.
And I feel bad because Mom knows it's happening. She's like, no! That's the worst part.
But at the same time, I loved it. I like because it just really signifies he's just how wormy and shitty of a person he is, and I thought it was perfect.
Oh,
for
it
his
is
character.
perfect, but I just felt so bad for Mom because,
Yeah.
you know, she's not as big as him, and she knows, she sees Jason coming, and it's like, oh, I'm fucked. Oh, no. That's got to be the worst. You can't do anything about it because some asshole's physically holding you there.
All right, so Nick just found Greaser. No, that's the
Nerd.
sci-fi
nerd.
body
Yeah.
under the coffee table. Jason kind of gives this point is giving up hiding bodies. You're
Yeah.
hiding closets, hiding them up in trees. This way he's like, fuck it, just put it. It's the equivalent of basically throwing a carpet over it.
Yeah, just
brush it over.
shove it underneath the coffee table. There
Yeah.
we go.
So Nick runs over to
Shove-
Tina's house.
Shove it in there. Here we go.
You get Tina. Oh, he has the gun now, by the way, too.
It's where the music's always been solid, though. Man, I gotta tell you, Friday 13th music has always been fucking
Yeah,
on point.
I've always been. Yeah, it's always had pretty good music.
Great job of like building suspense and
Yeah, Henry Manfarini, whatever his name is.
yeah.
I don't know if he did the music for this one too, but yeah, he knocks it out of the park. And in comes Melissa.
Psych ward, how should I know?
What's she doing? Taking a shit? What are you doing here? Taking a shit. If you guys
She would be the type of girl that would have to like leave the building, not just shit somewhere else when no one's around.
Yeah.
To maintain that mystique of girls don't shit.
Girls don't poop. Mystical butthole.
It's just for show.
It's
It doesn't function. It's just for show.
It's for show, not for go.
Mine's entrance only. There's no exit. Okay, so Tina and Bernie have met up in the
So
woods
Tina's
now.
out, who knows, 5 miles away also.
Yeah.
Runs into Bernie, who's blood spattered now.
You're lying, I was just there.
Blood? Yeah, this Bernie doesn't do a good job of trying to convince her to come back.
No.
Yeah.
Well, he's already kind of like,
Where is she? Where's my mouth?
Like, doesn't he learn that yelling doesn't get there?
motherfucker. I'm sorry, guys. This has something totally not to do with the movie. It's something we were talking about off air, and it just keeps getting
Better and better and better.
For me, I'm like, ugh.
So our friend of the show, who's been on a couple episodes, Adam Gray, has been, he moved to New York City. He's living out there now with his wife, Renee. Again, she's been on 2 of our shows.
Yeah.
Adam was on 1. Well, he was on Jersey Shore Massacre. But anyway.
Oh, Jason got the fucking gas-powered weed whacker with the saw blade on.
Is this the first time he's used a gas-powered anything?
It might be.
He's never used a chainsaw. But he's using a gas-powered giant weed whacker.
Has he not used a chainsaw before?
No, I don't think so. He's had a chainsaw used against him,
Maybe that's what it was. Okay.
but I don't think he's ever used a chainsaw himself. Anyway,
I just want to keep. It's like all I think about is like the Joker and Batman. He's like, where does he get these wonderful? Like every scene, he's got something to do. Like, where is he getting this?
especially this guy.
Where does he get the?
And this I remember being one of the lamest deaths.
I get the machetes, the tent spikes. Those are things he's finding along the area, but fucking gas-powered weed whacker with a saw blade on it. One pole yank.
He uppercuts Bernie, knocks him back. He's trying to wiggle away. He's got his weird touches his stomach, and he's dead.
And that's gotta be the MRMP.
He just literally touches the stomach, and he crosses his eyes and dead. Anyway, what Marshall was bitching about, Adam Gray, he's catching a flight somewhere, and he's happened to be sitting next to Mr. RKO himself, the Viper.
St. Louis legend, St. Louis hero.
Professional wrestler Randy Orton. And he keeps sending us pictures.
Yeah.
And now he's got pictures of him like they're arm in arm, buddy.
And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm so jealous. Like, you're with Randy Orton, one of the greatest wrestlers of our time, local hero for St. Louis, and we're in a fucking studio, we're talking about shitty horror movies. I'm so pissed off. Like, god damn it.
Hey, man.
And now it's like he just keeps rubbing in our faces. He's sending us more and more pictures.
Wouldn't you?
Yes. 100% yes. So
well, good for Adam.
Yeah,
good for Adam.
So Adam's now finding the black girl who's been taken out of the van and
now this is where we get the grand reveals.
The body graveyard.
Yeah.
Naked girl, nerdy
girl. Friend, she's there.
Did we miss her death somehow?
Look, he
struck that guy up again.
He brought him back up, struck him up.
He's been struck like twice now.
Yeah, he dropped from the sky once.
They put him back up there. All right, so now here's the showdown. Tina and Jason.
This is one of my favorite memories from Friday 13th.
Yes, because there's the puddle of water right in front of him.
And I feel this is where the movie really takes off. And it makes it a unique Friday movie.
Because now she turns into like Poison Ivy. She's like using use the roots and trees to tangle up Jason and wrap him up.
And like Jason's like, what? What? This isn't fair.
Yeah, like, you can't do this.
What the? God damn it.
Falls into a puddle of water. Uses her force powers to break off a fucking power line.
Which is still sparking and spitting.
Yeah. Snakes into the water.
Has a worm on over to the water.
And zap!
And boom.
And blue lightning.
Blue lightning all over Jason. Sweet 80s blue lightning.
Yeah, I remember this scene too. I was like, oh, this is awesome. It's so cool. And down he goes, face first in the puddle of mud. Shitty band too, by the way.
Cheers to that. Into the puddle mud. Shitty late 90s, early 2000s butt rock band.
Sometimes I like puddle of mud.
Yeah, some listeners like,
somebody's out there.
Fuck you guys.
And Jason pops back up. She runs.
And that's where you get a good look at his spine, you know, as a deterioration, like a kneecap.
I like how his kneecap's like busted. He's got his split kneecap. I never noticed that before, but until just now. That's a good detail that they included.
Interesting she did not lock the door.
She did not lock the door.
Not that it's really going to do much.
No, but you would still think after the survival instinct and how you just lock the door.
Yeah.
I like how the fridge is still open. They left that continuity, right? The fridge is still open.
Yeah.
Oh, he jumps in like a fucking madman. That's the most agile we've ever seen Jason. He like leaps through the window.
Like a boss.
Like a fucking ninja.
And he just stands there and looks like, yeah, bitch, I did that.
Jesus Christ. And this is
again, Kane Hodder. This is when Kane Hodder was the first Kane Hodder Jason. And a lot of people are like, holy shit, this guy's got some fucking moves. You can see his eyeball.
Yeah,
the one
Kane
eyeball.
Hodder's like, you know, when he's shot like that, he does make sure he never blinks when when they show his eye. Yeah, he never blinks when they show his eyeball as Jason.
I do like that she uses her force powers to try and
block him,
but he just fuck that. She just keeps fucking him up though. She throws a
couch at him.
Pretty good sized couch at him.
Oh, head of the flower plant.
Well, whose head is that supposed to be?
I don't know.
Is it the nerds?
I think it's the nerd guy. And she throws a plotter.
A flying headbutt. A literal flying
the plant
headbutt.
Potter with the head in it into Jason. Yeah,
It's cheesy, but it's great.
It is. It's cheesy, but it's awesome.
Because Jason's not too affected by it. He's like, God damn. But then she literally brings the house down on him.
Bring the house down. Yep. There's the porch. Crushes them.
And that's with the fucking authority right there.
Yeah. So now Nick and Melissa have heard that, and they're like, what? Tina comes in. Looking like a lost puppy dog.
Mom, I got my mom. And I like Melissa's like, that's crazy pussy right there. Yes. And just like The Undertaker from 1990s, he's like, no!
Will not rest in peace.
Yes, that's it. This is where Melissa is all of a sudden like way high and mighty. You people give me the creeps.
People!
I know. It's like...
So Jason gets another axe
Second
now.
axe. This is the second axe.
Second one.
Yeah. It's a good thing there's abundance of axes here.
Yeah. And see, I'm okay with that weapon.
Yeah.
Firewood on the woods, totally good. Lying around.
Melissa drops an F-bomb.
Opens the door. There's Jason.
This is one of my favorite Jason kills. Because she's just frozen in fear.
Yeah. Axe to the head, to the face.
And then just
throws
crosses her body behind the TV. Like
crashing through a lamp.
And Jason's like, you...
Oh, and that shot we just saw close up of Jason is you can see like the black like cloth they put over his eye.
I do love this part when he closes. He's very nimble. He's just like, fuck you. He's like making sure they can't escape.
This is the most nimble Jason we've ever seen, but he's also the most decayed. He should be the least nimble Jason we've ever seen.
At the same time, this is the Jason who got his ass kicked the most right now. He's like, shit, this bitch is for real.
Yeah, he has got
She
his ass
just
kicked more
electrocuted
than
me, knocked our house down on me. I gotta step up my game.
Up my game, yeah. He's going up the stairs. She's starting to use her mental powers again. I noticed they took this it's just the one red triangle on his mask in this one. They didn't add the two on the sides in this one. And he didn't add those to like 8 or something. Oh, smash him in the face with a...
The light fixture smashes his face. He goes
I'm sorry.
crashing.
I like to go through the steps, but I don't think a light fixture would knock Jason that far back into... Because it would be... Maybe, for one, he's wearing a hockey mask.
Marshall, it's enhanced by mysticism.
Oh, okay.
Mystical force.
I mean, everything else, like, I get the house falling on him. I get the
mystical force. Mystical force is behind that punch.
A light bulb.
It's like a punch. It's like a mystical punch. Think of it that way. A mystical Mike Tyson uppercut.
And he comes through the fucking crawl space.
Fuck that. He's not down yet.
Throws Nick. Oh, they did say that Kane said that stunt where he went through the stairs nearly fatal. Like the stairs didn't break away probably, and like his head almost like got like severely damaged. Oh, I love that she tightens the strap.
Very famous scene.
Oh, it's fucking Sherbert. It's like pink and yellow blood coming. Ah, there's Jason full of zombie fucked up face.
The mask gets so tight on his face that it breaks off, and man, does he look fucked up.
Another electrical wire hangs over. This is also but this is the longest in any Friday the 13th movie where you ever see Jason maskless.
Oh yeah,
the longest shot of him without. Rips up the floorboards, drops him through the floor into the basement.
Yeah, it's so rare to see Jason without his mask, and so seeing him, I remember as a kid, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And not only seeing him, but seeing him like, this is his 7th movie, and he is fucked up.
He's like pure zombie now, basically. He's not even like really human anymore. Which makes sense because, his body's deteriorating. He's got demon warp in him.
Sure.
He's got to get out for, and possess another body pretty soon. But I can't get over his teeth, though. His teeth are almost comical. They're so big and, like, bucktooth.
Well, wasn't he mentally retarded also?
He was deformed, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was...
Jason pulls it down into the... Oh, this is
But
great.
I gotta say, dude, Tina just, like, as much as Jason doesn't stop, Tina
nails.
fucking doesn't stop either.
No.
She just keeps hitting him and
nails
hitting
in the
him
forehead,
and hitting
nails
him.
in the chest,
I
rips it
really
out.
wish some goo came out with that.
Yeah.
He pulled the nail out of his head. I wish more goo came out.
I don't understand why this goo is like rainbow colored ice cream. We're talking about Devil's Rain, but like, it
Yeah.
should have been just like black bio or something.
Now this is funny.
But you see, like it's like pink and green and yellow.
I just had to comment on this. He got hit with so much shit, and he kind of walks through it. But the gasoline, he's like, "Ew, it's smelly. Get it off
Yeah,
me."
oh liquid, get
He
off
just
me.
seems so like he's backing away from it. He's like cowering, like get the gasoline. And once it stops, he's like, "Bitch,
Yeah.
that stinks. That can harm my lungs."
Opens the furnace.
But she starts the furnace, and he looks back like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me."
Now turns, fire starter, sets the basement on fire.
Yeah, I love. He's like, "You gotta be kidding me. What do I have to do to get this girl?" You have definitely met your match. And this is supposed to be called Jason Killer?
Jason's Destroyer.
Jason's Destroyer.
So Jason goes up in flames.
Full body burn.
Full body burn.
Which I know Kane Hodder. I know a lot of listeners will probably know Kane Hodder started as a stuntman.
Yeah.
And one of his stunts, I don't remember which one, but he got pretty badly burned up. So whenever you see Kane Hodder at conventions, he's got severe burns on his arms and hands.
It might be from this.
He always wears gloves, like weightlifting gloves. When he shakes hands with people and interacts with people, he always wears weightlifting gloves, like full weightlifting gloves, because his hands are so fucked up.
So, house is crumbling around Jason on fire. They run out of the house. Dick and Tina run.
I'm kind of curious about this part coming up.
Run to the dock, not to the cars.
And he goes, "Hit the deck!" Because
The house fucking explodes. What would make that house explode? Like, I guess maybe a gas line, I guess, but Jesus Christ. That's a big ass explosion for a fire.
that's a 2-story
Wooden cabin, yeah.
wooden cabin that blew up to fucking smithereens.
Like, it got hit by a goddamn missile. Like, that should not explode like that. Everything is gone. Yeah,
No shit.
Everything's gone. You destroyed it.
What do you think just happened, bitch?
All right, so they're hugging, crying on the dock.
I'm sorry. What? And they knew it was going to explode. They're just like, "Oh no, there's a fire. Run."
Oh, now Jason just pops up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
grabs her.
somehow.
Speaking of out of nowhere, Randy Orton style, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Throws her. Nick pulls the gun, shoots him. Like, that's going to do shit after everything he's been through.
But he recoils from the bullets, at least.
Yeah, the force. Backhands the gun into the lake, throws him down into the boat.
So Tina, I guess, has got a bad knee now?
I guess her knee hurts now. His teeth are like fucking rodent teeth, like gopher. They're so long.
Buck
and-
tooth and like beaver.
Yeah, very beaver teeth. Like, that's what I'm like. It's
It's a little distracting.
yeah, it's very
You're
distracting.
this menacing killing machine.
And
And you
I,
got,
yeah, and I can't stop looking at his fucking beaver teeth.
you're like,
So Tina's using her powers again. Oh, up comes her dad, ripping through the dock, looking like he just crawled through some mud.
yeah, he just looks like he just has a dirty cardigan now. He hasn't been rotting for 10 plus years.
Wraps the chain around Jason, pulls Jason back into the lake. Tina collapses in exhaustion.
Yeah, it's like, bro.
Cut to next day. Firefighters are putting out the fire.
They somehow find the mask.
Yeah, the broken mask
He's
of
like,
Jason.
just go together? Stockton Fire Department. Somehow now they're in Stockton, California.
Yeah.
Home of the Diaz brothers and UFC. Stockton, motherfucker, Stockton. All right, you don't get that one. That's fine.
Yeah.
That dude who's carrying her has a pretty sweet mullet.
Yes.
God damn, that's a powerful mullet.
That is. Yep.
That is a power mullet right there. Hope you
Tina
guys are
blown up
watching
in
this
the
along with our
accident.
commentary because you will see that power mullet. What is it with the old-timey
The ambulance hearse.
Dude, every goddamn Friday 13th movie has an old-timey
It's the amber
ambulance.
hearse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an ambulance. It's a
Oh, Black
hearse.
Betty, Amber Hearse. Oh, Black
Black
Betty,
Betty,
Amber Hearse.
Off goes the ambulance.
Amber
ambulance. The ambulance.
Amber Hearse.
Amber hearse. Yeah, that's a fun word. And fade to black. Roll credits. There's Friday 13th part VII, The New Blood.
There's not a lot of come down. It's like
No.
climax, and done. It's
Done.
like there's not a lot of downward slope.
Yeah.
You don't get a gentle landing with that. It's like, it's over, we're done.
Oh, we get credit for all the people we saw in the
The prologue.
prologue. Corey Feldman. Yep, there's Corey Feldman.
So I wonder if he gets royalties from this.
Oh, of course he would have.
I hope he does.
Yeah, of course he does. All right, so there's the movie. There's a few things. Some background trivia information. I'll go over now that I didn't want to get to do during the movie because I didn't want to waste. Talk over certain stuff. So there you go. So during filming, Kane Hodder's dressing room was a quarter of a mile down the dirt road from the main set. So apparently one night when filming ended at 2 a.m. in the morning, while still wearing the Jason costume, he decided to go walk through the woods on a path to his dressing room. As he was walking, someone approached him and asked if he was with the movie. He didn't reply because he thought it was a pretty stupid question to even ask in the first place. As he was standing there in full Jason costume, when the man asked again, Kane took a little lunge at him and grunted. The guy took off, tripping and running. The next day, director John Bolcher told Kane that the local sheriff was supposed to stop by, but he never showed up.
That's hilarious. For what, scaring a guy?
Scaring a guy, yeah. Now, this is interesting. I think there is some truth to this because the process to make this crossover happen was probably a long time in the making. The film was originally intended to bring Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger together on screen for the first time. However, when Paramount Pictures at the time held the rights to Friday the 13th, and New Line Cinema held the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street, which is weird because this was a Paramount opening, not a New Line Cinema.
Right.
Couldn't agree behind the scenes, so the script was written to pit Jason up against the telekinetic Tina Shepard instead, which some people think was instead of a crossover Jason, it's Freddy versus Carrie because of telekinetic powers, basically. And
Interesting.
They're just trying to grab at straws with the crossover bit.
Interesting.
All right, talk about that. Okay, we talk about Kane Hodder's burn, the big fire thing.
Yeah.
This film set a record for the time for the longest uninterrupted on-screen controlled burn in Hollywood history, which is weird because we just had a movie where they claimed that same thing too, but I think it was before this one was made.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably took the, or maybe it was after. I don't know. We've done 2 movies now that have claimed that longest burn. To accomplish the effect, they used a rigged apparatus to actually capture the ignition on film, like the moment where you actually are watching Kane Hodder truly set on fire, an effect which normally accomplished at the time via trick photography, and this time you see the burst. Kane Hodder stays on fire for a record-setting 40 seconds in the movie.
The one you're thinking of was Prom Night to Hello, Mary Lou.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, right. That was a full. That did, and that came out. Shit, when did that one come out?
Right around the same time.
No, that might have been 90.
Yeah, I think it was
that came after this. So this might
just a few years, maybe 2 or 3
so I guess
years
this
after.
was before. Then Mary Lou beat the record for this one.
Because that body burn in Mary Lou was like, holy shit! That person. Hope they have good insurance.
Yeah. In an interview for documentary Jason's Destroyer, there's a documentary called Jason, The Making of Friday 13th Part 7. It's available on DVD. The director said that if ever given the opportunity, he would want to recreate Friday 13th Part 7 Volume 2. His proposed sequel would ignore Friday 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, and follow the characters featured in this movie after they were rescued. Tina would be in a mental institution, having been blamed for the deaths that occurred at the camp, and Jason would be stalking or killing doctors and nurses along the way.
Nice.
I like that. I like that.
I like that
I'm okay
too.
with it.
You know what?
I'm okay with that.
I would love to see that.
Yeah. Although it does sound, part of it does sound very Halloween too. Anytime I think of hospital, that's the first thing my mind goes to. But still, I like the idea of Tina being blamed for it, and I think that's cool. And again, continuing with the same character and get some follow up.
Yeah, and you know what?
Okay
I would really like if you really needed to have Jason go to New York, have her in the motherfucking mental institution in New York.
That would, yeah. There you go. Done. Boom. That ends it right there. We were talking about the ending. According to director again, they were going to do the ending the way they did. They thought Tina. He was insisting that Tina's dad needed to come out of the water looking almost as decayed as Jason, since he was supposed to have been dead at the bottom of the lake for just as long.
Chewed up and nasty.
But Butcher was overruled by Sachs, one of the producers, who thought it looked equal parts disgusting and silly. So instead, they threw some traces of mud on the guy's face and called it a day.
Jesus.
Yeah. Last 2 things I'm going to say is Fatal Attraction also kind of ruined New Blood's original ending in that the same spirit, New Blood, was originally meant to end with Jason emerging from his watery grave, upsetting a peaceful sequence involving a Crystal Lake fisherman, clearly ignoring the no fishing, beware homicidal zombie sign. Fatal Attraction, released while they were making this movie, took the one last scare trope mainstream. Audiences ate it up, but the film's popularity and Friday 13th-esque ending brought unwanted ridicule to Frank Mancuso Jr., who was still struggling to be taken seriously in Hollywood after having built his career upon producing Friday the 13th sequels. So he decided to drop the business with The Fisherman entirely, sensing that maybe the last second scare trope was a bit played out. But it was later put back in on a special cut of the release of the film.
So they're saying there was a final scene. The ending was supposed to be Jason popping out of the lake and killing a fisherman.
Yes.
At Camp Crystal Lake.
Yes.
But Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction did something similar.
So they cut it.
So they didn't do that ending.
Yeah.
I get the idea at the time, but god damn, brother, that doesn't stand up at all now.
No.
That was a horrible, horrible decision.
Yeah. Looking back on. And speaking of the ending, at the time of its release, this was the first Friday the 13th film to have a quote-unquote peaceful ending that doesn't hint at Jason or some other killer returning for a sequel.
Because they
cut it.
They just end the movie.
The first 6 films all had some sort of ominous, scary ending that foreshadowed more killings in future films. This film's sequel, and Jason Takes Manhattan, ends in a similar peaceful way. And this is the first time since Friday the 13th Part 2 where a male protagonist, except Tommy Jarvis, survives the entire film. So, and there's a lot more of trivia I found, but I was like, there's too much of it to write. There's just tons and tons and tons. So I started just picking a few things here and there. One thing I wanted to talk about before I end is the timeline. Because we talked that one note about Tina's dad. Because when I was a kid watching this, it was confusing. I was like, okay, Tina's dad dies. Then 10 years later, they go back to the lake, and Jason, comes back. But then there's people talking, when I was reading research, there's like controversies over this timeline. Because some are saying that the events of the past, where we see Tina's dad, where we see Tina kill her dad.
Yeah, I mean, all we know is that it's 10 years ago or whatever.
But I'm saying, they're saying those events took place at the same time as the ending of Part 6. So they're saying, well, Tommy Jarvis was out on the lake killing Jason. Tina was at the other part of the lake where her dad died. And that was the exact same time. So 10 years later, when she brings Jason, that's what's going on. So, which is weird. But again, like the timeline, as a kid, I never got that. Like, it's 10 years later. And I thought it was just 10 years. Who knows how long it was been between, in my mind, from Part 6 to Part 7.
Exactly.
So I'm like, I don't fucking know. But now they're saying that was supposed to be the case, which makes it even weirder that, again, Jason's utility belt, his gloves, all of his clothes are different. He's decayed that much. But then when you see, the dad pop out of the water, and he looks like he just tripped in a mud puddle, on his way, home. He just got home getting milk, and he flipped in mud or something. Like, he looked completely fine. But Jason, it's supposed to be 10 years later. Like, there's a big, weird plot hole there about the timelines don't really flow. So, in my opinion,
are a majority of people saying that the death of Jason corresponds with the death of Tina's dad?
there's fan theories or excuse me, because when I was doing my research, the background trivia stuff, they were talking about timelines, and there's a lot of people saying that that flashback was at the time was supposed to be going at the same time as Jarvis killing Jason at the end of Part 6. So it's supposed to be right at the same amount of time. I don't know. It's a weird thing.
Don't like that. Nope. Yeah. I don't agree with that at all.
But that said, we obviously love this movie, but looking back on it, do you think, does it hold up for you today, watching it as an adult, as it did when we were kids?
The thing that falls short for me is the kills. The kills are a lot weaker. I remember being a lot more scared from the kills when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought maybe they were edited for USA, or even watching this on Cinemax, maybe I was just like, oh, yeah, I wasn't paying that much attention. Yeah, there are some that are kind of gory and bloody, like the axe to the face that guy gets. It's pretty brutal looking. But the thing that makes me enjoy this film so much is the end fight between Tina and Jason.
Yes.
And god damn does he get the shit kicked out of him.
I agree with you
gets
100% on that.
So beat up, thrown through the stairs, thrown down in the basement, set on fire, shot with nails. He just gets fucked up all over, and we're rooting for Tina. You know, she's a sympathetic character. So because of that, because the act, like, that's so much fun.
Yeah. I agree.
The final act is so much fun.
I agree.
It
Like,
definitely
I think
makes
the
it
build
worth
up to it is kind of like almost like this isn't that great. This isn't that great. It's no better than anything.
Yeah.
But it's that as a kid, that final act with the teleconnect showdown between Jason is what made it so much fun and made it always stand out compared to all the other ones. But looking at it now, like if we were doing this, like this is, but we could almost say at the same time, this was something we would do on the show as a record. I was gonna be like, what the fuck? Now we're talking about telekinetic powers and Jason. This is some fucking dumb. It's so stupid. But at the
But
same
they
time,
set it up at the very beginning. They're like,
Yeah.
you know, it's not like all of a sudden she's
Right.
got him. I mean, that's the right off the bat. You see Tina and her as a little girl.
But
doing
it still holds up. I'm very just now I heard about that, learning about that MPA stuff and how it's cut so bad. And you're right, the kills are really tame compared to like stuff you saw in just part 6 and
Yes.
part 5 and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's like the kills went downhill except for Sleeping Bag's kill, but yeah, they weren't that great. It's just that ending is so memorable and so unique.
So much fun.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. We're going along. I know we had a lot of stuff before the movie and after the movie now, but
So
anyway,
you would watch. You would say
I'd still
stands
still
up
it's
today.
still to me it still stands up because I still would watch it. It's still just fun, and part of it, for me, like, it could be the rose-colored glasses, the nostalgia factor, but I still think it's so bad it's good. It's just a fun. I'm at this point we're at part 7, so it's not like they're kind of it is what it is. You know what you're getting at part 7. Once you get past part 3, things in all franchises, after 3 things start going real off the
We
rails.
gotta mix it up, baby.
Yeah,
We're
so
bringing in a
who
psychic
knows?
because they brought in a psychic. Number 8, they went to New York. Number 9, he's going to hell.
No, number 9 is a fucking demon worm.
Number
He's not
10
even him, and now he's a fucking worm.
Number 10, he's in fucking space. So
Yeah.
number 7 was the last one that took place at Camp Crystal Lake, start to finish.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Um,
So
Yeah,
there's
the
only-
original
there's-
series
There's
until
only
they-
so much they could do.
Yeah.
Dude, did number 5 even have a lake?
No, it wasn't at Camp Crystal Lake. It was at like some like juvenile detention rehab center.
They were in
proximity.
proximity.
There was proximity. General region. Anyway, all right, yeah. So thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed this watch along
Let us
as
know.
well.
Let us know if you like the watch alongs. They're a lot of fun.
And like I said, in the future, if we do more of these, we might actually go back and review some of the revisit some of the movies we've done on the show before, like we made fun of, or just want to rewatch again.
Good luck with those.
It'd probably be some of the better ones, like
Yeah.
maybe Halloween Haunt or Amok Train,
Mm-hmm.
or hell, even Blood Fart Lake, maybe. I don't know, but something like
Yeah.
that. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Watch more horror movies, and remember to always keep it tight.
Tight.